I want to have a conversation about doomers, dreamers, and doers. Now, we're going to have this conversation in two parts. We are going to have this conversation certainly about creators, because I think as creators, you need to know what your target market is, who your ideal consumer is. Are they doomers, doers, or dreamers? But more importantly, I want to talk about the conversation of who you are, the viewer. Because I think if you are not careful or you're not honest, you could be one of these categories and not even see it. Dion, we just had this conversation in another video at close, but I think we need to go deeper. What do you think about these three categories: doomers, dreamers, and doers?
I think it comes down to the creator to start.
Okay.
And we've talked about this a few times where as a creator, a content creator, as you know, you're trying to give information. If you want to help yourself, you tell people what they want to hear. So the doomers and the dreamers put out information that people want to hear. Here's my excuse to not take action. Here's my excuse to take super risky action because it could reward me faster. But if you want to help the viewer, you tell them the truth. And so that's where we get stuck going, it's going to suck. You got the 5 years of suck. It's a 10-year journey. You have to do the work. Like all the things people don't want to hear, but actually help them and again, this is one of those things, nobody can hear a word till they're ready. So you have to find the viewer who's actually ready, who knows that that's the category they're in. So the first step, it's what is the content creator trying to do? Help themselves or help the viewer?
I think that is absolutely right. Because again, I think these three categories hit because again, I've been doing this for a while now, talked with even much bigger creators, and creators fall in those categories, right? Are you talking to the doomers? If so, you can spot them a mile away. Are you talking to the dreamers and preaching a lotto ticket that a few will achieve, but most won't? Those two categories are very big. But if you're going to talk to somebody who wants to extreme ownership, owns their choices, wants to do the work, knows it's going to take a season or a decade, that's a very small world, or a very, I don't know what the percentages are. Maybe we'll all guess at it, but I would guess it's half of the other two at least, if not worse. So, Matt, you've actually created these names, especially the dreamer category. What do you think of doers, dreamers, and doomers?
You see, when you ask questions like that, how can I not answer the right? I mean, just
let them have.
So yeah, I mean, dreamers, like, it's cute and everything, but what's the likelihood of success? If you want to put 10 years into something, how many businesses put 10 years into something and they have nothing to show for it at the end but a job? They still just have a job. Or they're out of business, or they're out of business for the fourth time. Hey, if you've had 4 businesses that colossally failed like that, you're probably not a very good doer or entrepreneur. You're probably a pretty good dreamer. I think that I look at what we do, right? I looked at what I do specifically. I'll blame myself. And what I put out there, I could make 10 tweaks to it and it would be all for the dreamers. I could make 10 tweaks to it and it could be all for the doomers. Or I am what I am and I'm a doer. I prefer to be the doer. And so I never wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be a business guy that did YouTube that helped folks. So that's why there's no creation. There's no real, art to what I do. It's press button, go.
Yeah.
And it's unload. This is what I am. I'm in the project. I'm doing this. Now, when it comes to creativity, we save that for how I finance deals or how I do a project, right? There's nothing creative about the Lumberjack Landlord and that brand. And that's why, again, from our perspective, what I'm trying to put out there is only something that if you're on this journey, that it's going to help you. I'm not going to be there and paint this big, beautiful picture about how if you just start wholesaling today, in 3 years, you'll be making $3 million a year. There's plenty of guys that make pretty decent money in wholesaling. Mm-hmm. That said, that life is like a stock trader's stomach.
Oh, yeah.
It is a nightmare in every single, you look at how much money they make. Look at how much money they spent. there's plenty of wholesalers that I work with that spend $150,000 or $200,000 a month on marketing. 150 to 200 grand. Now, when they've had a bad month, they might do 150 or 200 grand and they're like, great, I lost money this month.
Right.
They can't stop. So I just think that what we've done, that's why I'm proud of what we've done, is that we've not taken the easy road. We have taken the long, ugly, hard road.
Yeah.
That's not lazy, that is difficult to do. And there's not a bunch of massive celebrations like fastest growing this or fast. No, it doesn't happen. Bigger Pockets is the gold standard, right? 1 million subs.
Yeah.
That's the gold standard, 1 million subs. There are fart channels that have more subscribers than Bigger Pockets, but they haven't set people free financially. So that's where the doers part is really critical. I love Gary Vee. Guy's a machine, right? Try and be Gary Vee for a day. You would die.
You would die. Most people would die.
Like you would die. So like I said, I like what we do. I like the doer part of it. And very often people will get to the doer part after they've done the dreamer, after they've done the doomer, and they realize that neither one of them worked. The only problem at that point is their time horizon is much less.
Yeah, they've lost a decade, 15 years. Yeah,
that's right. Because neither of the other side really do anything.
Yeah, it's funny because I do think, as Dion said, it starts with the creator, and you really can spot them if you kind of understand this lens now. And the doers are the smallest, however, have the largest impact. Because again, if you go through the comment section of a doer channel, you're going to see a disproportionate amount of folks thanking them, telling their own story. And, I just love the impact, right? That's video number 1 on my channel, sitting on the couch, was, I'm here to try to create something that outlives me by 50 years, right? That's that legacy crap. And that's hard to do. And if you go to a doomer channel, it's all people with, whining and complaining and, just nonsense. And, the dreamer stuff, it's really funny. When you go to a dreamer channel, it's very well managed. Usually they're paying a VA to delete negative comments. Right. And it's just really fun because I think you can go to comment sections and figure out a creator. Is this creator a doomer, a dreamer, or a doer? So why don't we switch now to the other side? Because I think where this really comes down to me is extreme ownership. And I think people need to look themselves in the mirror and say, am I, the consumer, a doomer, dreamer, or a doer? Dion, what's your take on that?
I think, I won't speak for you guys, but I think I've been looking at it wrong.
Okay.
It could be that we were looking at it wrong. So I think our time is valuable. And whenever we're on YouTube, we look at it as YouTube University, right? Matt, you're sometimes like me, probably going, okay, how does this lock work? And how do I install it or whatever? Somebody who's used this tool before, how do I unlock the stupid thing on the chop saw where it comes up and down? And I couldn't find that for 5 minutes to end up find a video. And, so time is important. There are people on YouTube who aren't here for the outcome. We're thinking of our audiences, and it's people who are like, okay, how do I study my market? How do I create a buy box? How do I meet new people? How do I network? How do I make an offer? And these are the doers. So we think from their perspective. There are people. So I don't know how we would get this data, but I wonder what our success rate is. I would think about, to me, it feels about 80% of the people who interact with our content are actually making offers and buying deals.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a big number. Okay.
Yep.
I think here's where we fail. 100% of the people who watch the dreamers and the doomers get what they're on YouTube for. They have 100% success rate. The dreamers want to dream. They don't want action. They don't want success. No. They don't want the right outcome.
They want that dopamine hit of, correct, I'll be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yep. And the doomers want fear. So they get the fear porn and they go, okay, this is terrifying. I'm not going to take any action. I have an excuse not to. They have 100% success rate.
Yep.
Which is why they get hundreds of thousands of views and we get tens, if we're lucky, of thousands of views.
Yep.
I'll take the 80% with an outcome.
Yes.
That is what I'm here for.
Yes.
Versus the 100% where they're just on YouTube because they have time to kill. They're just time killers, not people educating themselves, not people learning a skill set to actually take action with.
Yeah, when I think of this, I'm reminded, I think Matt said this first like 4 years ago. It might even been 5 years ago. We've been doing this so long. Thank you for that. I'm not in the convincing business.
Yeah.
And that is something I have locked into these last 6 months again, because you guys know this. I went negative for 6 weeks because Graham Stephan's kind of feedback and coaching. It worked. Again, Graham was right. I grew 100,000, over 100,000 views in like 4 weeks or something, which is, crazy growth for a channel like mine. However, the comment section was not the people I wanted. And I'm not into convincing me. It was horrible. It's like almost made me quit.
Yeah.
Right? Quit YouTube, which would have been a terrible thing to do. So, you got to know which bucket you're in. And I only want to talk to doers. I want to talk to people that believe it's possible. Right? So maybe there's a little dreamer there, but I'm not promising tomorrow. In fact, I'm promising you 5 years of suck. Right? Let's be very clear. But yeah, I cannot tolerate doomers. I am tired of people complaining and whining and not taking ownership of their life choices. Like who told you to do that? Right? You did that. Stop blaming somebody else. So Matt, what do you think?
That's what makes social media a toilet.
Yeah. Cesspool.
It's just an absolute waste of time, garbage. What's really funny is I didn't have any social media accounts until the lumberjack landlord was invented.
It's funny. I had LinkedIn. The only one I had was LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn doesn't count.
Well, then I didn't have one either.
Yeah,
because
that's in our business in the software world. Like that's how you have to connect, right?
Correct.
With creating partnerships and such.
Correct.
But the rest of it's just it's a cesspool. It's garbage. It's a waste of time. It's doom scrolling. There's nothing of value there. The idea is to properly utilize the resources that you have available to you. And you can use YouTube to waste 12 hours. You can also use YouTube to get really smart in certain areas and get a mile deep, So I think what's most important to me is if I'm going to give up my time, I'm not a whore like a doomer selling my time for money. I am giving my time because what I want to see is I want to see other people set free. I want to see other people achieve. And when you've gotten to a level of success that you're happy with, where you have contentment, you can then be more apt to give them the 10 fingers to get up on your shoulders and not have to go through the same things that you did. I don't need other people to go through all the horrible things I went through to get successful. If I can give them a hand, get them on my shoulders where they didn't have to go through that, that was the whole purpose of what I did.
Yeah.
So I think that, very often the first thing out of any consultant's mouth is you got to charge a lot more for your course. I was like, that's not the point.
Not the point.
Not the point.
I get that. I could
charge $10,000 if I wanted to, and just specialize with a fewer number of students. It's not what I'm interested in. I'm very interested in people having skin in the game, because if they're not willing to take action and invest in themselves, why the hell should I?
Yep.
And so that's where the three of us are super blessed to be able to do what we get to do, which is be a part of other people's journeys.
Yes. We
get the fun of their wins. We certainly all feel their losses, but we're there to help them through it. And that's what I think is the most important. So I think that it's a life wasted if you're out there to become, to be a clouter, trying to get clout it's really truly of no interest to me whatsoever.
Yeah. The last thing I'll say about this, and we'll wrap up, is I do believe in the universe, karma, things of that nature. And I think there's a lot of doomer and dreamer creators who are doing it for the wrong reasons, for doing it very selfish reasons. And, karma's a bitch. It's coming. Dion, wrap this up, and where can people find you?
So there's a litmus test that every viewer can do to figure out if they're wasting their time on YouTube. Think of the creator that you're watching. Any one of us, any one of the doomers, or any one of the dreamers. Take away social media and take away YouTube. Take away Ryan Pineda's social networking impact, ability to draw money in. Brandon Turner's ability to network with this bigger pockets presence to go, okay, here, I'm going to buy these trailer parks that syndicate money together. Take away everybody's ability online. Would you want their life?
I like it. Where can they find you?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, and on Amazon, Financial Freedom for the Lazy Person, a book that reads like YouTube videos where you can actually sit down for 5 to 10 minutes and take in a section and put the book down until tomorrow.
Yep. Love it. Closing thoughts, Matt. Where do they find you?
You find me Lumberjack Landlord, 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursdays. I just answer your questions because I remember being there and not having anybody to answer mine.
Me too.
And so if I can save you time, save you money, that's the purpose of the show. And to, quite frankly, I get to do about 200 deals a year because of the show.
Nice.
It allows me to be a part of 200 deals a year where I'm only able to do or want to do 5 or 6 on my own. So I'm always grateful for people that want to watch, come hang out and get their questions answered. I'm happy to do it.
Yep. The last thing I'll say about this topic, folks, is you, the viewer, should pull up your Instagram and your YouTube feed and see what the algorithm gives you. Because I guarantee you, you fall into one of these buckets. Are you generally falling doomers, dreamers, or doers? And if you don't like that answer, it's on you to change it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.